We haven't had many retakes, have we? Hey team, Patreon team, how are we today? We've got the team from Magic here again. We're going to talk podcast number 3 with Peter Scott.
Yeah.
Recapping this, really interesting conversation, right? Obviously, at the start we spoke about running.
Yes, we did.
And you guys reminded me actually about that as well and his love of running. Either of you guys runners? Lucky you.
Yeah, I really try. I think I have something called plantar fasciitis. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that before. Yeah, no, that's a thing.
It feels like it's like the bottom of your foot's like, it feels like it's ripping a bit and you really have to stretch it out.
Yeah.
And when I used to play football, it was fine.
Yeah.
But since I, kind of stopped for a bit, I just, one day, you just get the urge to go for a run.
Yeah.
And you get out there and it just, you just feel this ripping underneath your foot.
Yeah.
Enough to put you off. Until months down the line, you try again. But look, it's something I'd like to get into.
Yeah. Not ideal to be 24 and have injuries.
No, it's not ideal. I think probably.
Sorry, you have to say that again. What's it? Plantar
fasciitis.
Yes, there's a lot of syllables in that, mate.
Yeah,
it's probably too many for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know how to spell it, but
yeah. Good luck with that. So we spoke about running, and obviously as well, like his passion for running, and then also I think like how that was a mechanism for him to manage stress in his role as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the big topic around submarines and AUKUS as well, and I know that's a big topic at the moment.
Of course.
Yeah, and looking at that, we chatted about that today, and if you just look at the numbers on it, right, like just $368 billion, our largest defence spend ever. It's going to give Australia a strategic deterrent, you would argue. It's going to be over 2 or 3 decades, maybe 4 decades, going to create tens of thousands of jobs. And also we're going to have American and British personnel stationed here, not far from here, right, down south as well. So it's pretty significant. And then we spoke about leadership. So pretty wide-ranging conversation as well.
Yeah.
For you guys, what's the thoughts? What's some of your takeaways?
My thing was obviously about AUKUS, like because that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Us, because we've always had we've been allies with the UK, US for however long it's been, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously they're in a bit of hot water. Yeah. Right now, like you got US with Iran, you got UK with Russia. Yeah. Currently, how do we get affected by that as well? Like that's the thing that when I was listening to it, because obviously we got all this like the spend, we're partnered with them, and we're safe because we are with like the bigger powerhouses. Do you reckon that affects us like in danger wise?
I think if you look at the world now, if you think anything's really geopolitically, you can have an idea about where we're going to be in 6 months' time. You're kind of probably not reality, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at some of the things that we see being done and the things that happen quite quickly. Like, even to the point where, not commenting on administrations, but where an administration can have a UFC in the grounds of the White House. Like, that...
Yeah,
you would think that certain things are off limits, right? It doesn't seem anything's off limits.
I think... See, I don't want to go too political.
No, it's,
But my personal take... I think certain people are in positions that they shouldn't be in, and they're using that in advantages where they can promote themselves in the media and promote themselves in different ways and, I don't know, try to skew a certain narrative and get people's eyes off other stuff happening in the world.
Yeah, without doubt. And I think, like, if you bring it back to the US and the UK, like, we've got cultural ties, right? Like, between the countries, but... we've got mutual, I guess, objectives that we want to achieve, and that's like if you think about Australia, it's about the Pacific, right? And it's freedom of navigation. Yeah, it's a submarine, and this is what Peter talks about submarines as well. No one talks about them. Yeah. So there's a lot that we don't know. They're classed as special operations. There's things that are now still classified that they do that have a strategic deterrent, like. Because you can't see a submarine, you don't know its capability. Sometimes you can't track it. Yeah. You don't know where it is. Like that, not knowing gives a power a pause. Australia has these 8 boats out in the Pacific right now. Okay, maybe we can't move through the South Pacific if we're going to invade this country.
Yeah.
You know, that's the strategic deterrent that is important. But back to your, are we potentially like impacted of what's happening around the world? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't think no country, even us, we are geographically isolated.
Yeah.
We're still not immune. Like things that happen in the States and even, the UK going through its own turmoil as well politically. Yeah. Like, I think there's so much uncertainty. My personal opinion is AUKUS is a relationship and a longer term thing that will outlast
any of these conflicts.
You would hope, right?
Yeah.
Because this is administration, there's some good things that they do, but the reality is it's pretty unpredictable, right? Is that, that will be up in a few years' time and then a new administration. But I think there is very much a bipartisan approach to AUKUS across the UK, the US and Australia, is that this is good for all parties. It's not just about like us getting capability. It's about, hey, Australia can be a relevant and supportive ally in the Pacific to both of those countries, right? That it doesn't need to be all on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And AUKUS is actually as well, has different elements. Like there's an AI element. There is like sharing of information that is not just about submarines, which I did some research on. But the submarines is the key part. But it's interesting how much we don't know about submarines, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Like, did you see, it's not to do with Australia, but the UK, there was I don't know if it's a Russian submarine or a Russian ship off the coast of the UK recently.
Yeah.
Spy
ship or?
And it hit a UK yacht, a British-owned yacht.
Yeah.
Luckily, the 2 people on board weren't, like, the yacht wasn't damaged or anything.
Yeah.
But they fired at it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. And, like, the same thing, like, Russia had a warship that was circling around Australia sometime, I think it was end of last year.
I don't know if they did, but the Chinese definitely circumnavigated Australia.
Yeah.
And that was a concerning piece.
Oh, no, sorry, it was a Russian submarine went missing.
Yeah, potentially. There you go.
It went missing off their dock.
Yeah.
So they didn't know where that's gone.
Yeah.
And, like, for submarines, like you're saying, we don't know much about them.
Yeah.
We never know where they are.
Yeah. So the importance of it is just gives that, if you've got adversaries, which, we all talk about, like, the world wanting to be better.
Yeah.
The reality is we do want that, but you also there are unfortunately actors around the world that want to do us harm.
Yeah.
And we have to have strategic deterrence, right? And this is one of them, I think, personally, the more and more I thought about it. And coming from the Army, that's a big compliment because the Navy is seen as like a secondary force. And absolutely, I would argue it's not. I would actually argue that it's becoming the more relevant and most important, still. And like, I think Peter's insight's pretty crazy. Like that guy he's commanded, I think he's been in 10 command positions. He's commanded every submarine he's had. He's commanded, he's been as part of like British subs as well. Like he's got such interesting insights in that area as well.
Yeah. I liked when he spoke about leadership a little bit.
Yeah.
Just his insights with that. I think in any environment, being a leader is like very important.
Yeah. Oh, without
and it's
doubt.
crucial, let alone like a submarine.
Yeah.
And you're in this like cramped space and that sort of thing. Just, I wish like.
Are you claustrophobic?
Oh well, I was always fascinated with submarines.
Were you?
Yeah, just
okay.
Because I think I spoke to you before, but I watched a movie called Crimson Tides.
Yeah, great film.
With
Sean
Denzel.
Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
It's my Sean Connery. Apologise.
Yeah. And I loved it. And there used to be like a museum, like the boat museum down in Fremantle.
Yeah.
Used to have that submarine open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you could go inside it.
There's got the Maritime Museum down there, but that's the older stuff. Is there another?
Yeah. It was near Gage Roads, that sort of place.
Yeah, right. Oh,
next to it. And on the side there, the submarine opened, and I remember. Oh, I don't think it would have been as big as Pete would have drove, but it was huge still.
Yeah.
But inside, I remember it being so cramped, and back then thinking like, there's no chance I could.
Yeah, because they'd go down for 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't know how. Some like you think about somebody who spoke about special operations. Like there are points where they're actively underneath the ice sheet in the Antarctic or Arctic. because, you know, there's resources or planting, like listening stuff that you just don't know, right? And it's all, none of this comes out. You know, see special operations stuff, you hear about like a battle somewhere and, you know, casualties, but because this is like a lot more clandestine.
Yeah. Even like the fact that we don't really know much about the ocean. Still.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're down there like in this little, obviously we don't know deeper, but like, I just can't. I was fascinated, but I would never.
Yeah.
I was just, that terrifies me.
Yeah, and that, I agree. I don't like claustrophobic. I don't like small spaces, and that gives me even more respect for the guys and girls that are doing it now, right?
Yeah.
So
you can't just leave.
Yeah, and just being
exactly. You got no chance.
Just being a leader, like in that environment where people are probably, you know, obviously there was probably went through some training, but mentally it would be difficult to just being in the same area every day.
Totally.
And just having to control this group of people.
With people, like all of this group here, but you can't escape them. No. And you're literally like tighter than the office here.
Yeah, and like imagine you're down there and something does happen. Like,
well, that's right.
Like there's another submarine from another country there.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
And if something happens, it's a major political, geopolitical, national security event, right? So the level of stress and pressure that you're under consistently is also kind of quite high, I'd assume. And super technical, like Pete spoke about as well. Super technical business, like the amount. If you read Running Deep, he talks about every element of the boat.
Yeah, right.
And it's literally like component wise, and it's like he lists off like 50 things in a row.
Wow. And
you just think like every single one of those things has got to work in unison together to keep the ship going, and the people that work on it are super specialised.
Yeah, of course.
But I think the piece about like leadership, like, you know, Peter talks about leading with courage and compassion. You can that I would assume in that environment when people are under that level of stress for that long a period of time and in confines like that, that's got to really throw up a lot of leadership, I guess, challenges. Yeah. Like for me, like just imagine yourself. I always try to put myself in the position of what it would feel like managing that. You know, as you said before, you can't just escape. Yeah. You can't just surface and a helicopter come and pick you up. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're there. Right? What else did you guys do leadership-wise? Did you remember much about like...
I saw him discuss his commander before, Peter Clark, I believe, and he talked about what he learned from him and how he took that when he became a leader and had to do the same sort of things. Was there any stuff that you took away, obviously, in like that we could learn about leadership-wise?
Yeah, I think like for me, knowing Peter personally as well, like I'll just probably talk about conversations because he's given me a lot of advice as well. So for a bit of context, Peter was, when I started writing the book, Peter was part of, or he's a mentor, was part of like a writing group. Yeah. A lady called Kelly Irving, shout out to Kelly and the Expert Author Academy. Community, sorry, not Academy. And Peter had just finished his book and I just reached out to him to have a chat. And like this guy's already got a, you know, like a national platform where he's talking with, you know, Chief of Navy, Chief of Army, you know, big people and that sort of stuff. And he just said, yeah, absolutely, we'd love a chat. And I mean, leadership, when you see the way people interact with people, you understand what sort of leader they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like how they are with everyone is how they are with everyone. Yeah. You know, he is the same with you or me that he is with anyone. So I think like for me about him talking about leading with courage and compassion is being real with people and being authentic, you know, and also like being with people through the experience. I mean, if you think about your submarine, you can't really escape. Yeah. But you could go into your, you know, in the Navy, like officers have got like generally got their own quarters, whereas like sailors or other ranks, like they're in bunks, right? So you have no personal space. Whereas as an officer, you might have a small room, right? You could disappear to that room. But I can guarantee you that man was never disappearing to that room, right? Yeah. He was on watch, showing people and leading by being there, but then also like just through his actions. There's the big things. I mean, you guys you've played sport, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are the common themes for great leaders?
I remember watching the Last Dance, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think at the end he said, like, you know, these people might dislike me, whatever, but like he would run through a brick wall for them, and he wouldn't, you know, I can't remember what the saying was, but he would always do, I can't remember. It's something like, running through a brick wall, and that anything they would do, he would do as well. You know what I mean?
Setting the example, right? Like, how can you ask someone to do something if you're not willing or capable to do it yourself?
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain amount of credibility by just doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
At least from my experience.
Yeah.
And I think Peter epitomises that. Like, he's done so many different parts of managing a submarine that he can talk from experience.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's important for us as leaders as well, is that you don't necessarily need, if you we talk about retail, if you're a retail leader, you don't necessarily have to have sold something on the retail or, store, but you need to know what that person's going through, and you need to have some semblance of capability so that you can help support that person, right?
Yeah.
Because what were the three C's?
Compassion, courage, and... I had it in my notes, so trust me, I had it.
The 3 C's.
3 C's were courage, compassion, and commitment.
Yeah. And you think about that as well. Like, he spoke about at the end, he spoke about it multiple times, is that he made a distinct decision, is that if I'm going to be here, I'm going to give the most effective service. That guy epitomizes service, right?
Yeah.
Like, most leaders, good leaders at least anyways, they've got a reason why they're doing something. Like, there's a service to it, element. They still might be working for a multinational business making loads of money. Yeah. But they understand there's a level of connection with it almost being a service, like vocational.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is my take on leadership, is some people are born to do it, some people are absolutely not.
I mean, there's definitely people more predisposed to it, right? More charismatic,
But I think some people can learn it.
Yeah.
But, like, there's some people that are just not fit for it.
Some people I listened to actually a really good podcast this week where he's a leader, and he said, you know what, more I think about leadership, I'm actually a better follower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. Like, there's definitely varying degrees and capability of natural talent.
Yeah, of course.
And you can develop it.
Yeah.
But I think there's still people with personalities that are just more naturally disposed to it. Like, if you think about really good leaders, like, for some reason, I just think about someone that's charismatic. It kind of sounds like a little bit, it's hard to describe, but I just say, like, when they come into the room, right, they bring energy, right? And you just can't but be infected positively by it. Yeah.
Like, any, like, good leader or, like, boss or whatever I've had, anyone that's higher up that I have to listen to or whoever, it's always those 3 C's. Yeah. And, like, now thinking about it, the ones that I've disliked or I've noticed haven't been as good, there's 1 or 2 missing.
Yeah. I feel like, as well, different people react to different leaders in different ways. For myself, I always liked a leader who I can't remember. Sorry, my mind went blank.
That's right. You always like the leader that
like, shows with the actions.
Yes.
First. Yeah. Like, some people aren't the loudest in the room.
Yeah.
But me seeing that, like, in the shadows, in their own time, they do this hard work.
Yeah.
And they don't go and, like, boast about it, or they don't yell at people to do stuff for them, but with their own actions. I quite look up to when people are like that.
I love that.
And some people prefer when they, like, take control and you go there and boss people around, which is good. Yeah. Some people like it.
At times.
Like it more than the other. So.
Yeah, and you don't need it. You can oscillate between the two. Like, that's what makes that when you do take control even more impactful, I reckon. Because, like, if your natural inclination is to step back and just show people through your example, but then when you do it, they're like, oh, Lockie means business. Yeah. Like, there's something about this that's even more and that can be even more impactful. Yeah. And there's levels to leadership, right?
Yeah.
And there should be depth to your opinion. Speaking of depth, the man that's listened to more of this, Sammy, what do you reckon, mate? You would argue you've listened to more of listening to me probably than most people, you poor bugger.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I've got sort of not a direct takeaway from the podcast, but as a result of listening to it and thinking about the idea of submarines and naval leadership. There's a story from the Cold War that I've seen a couple takes on it, but there was a nuclear submarine with nuclear weapons on it during the Cold War, Russian Soviet submarine, and they were out on some patrol mission, sort of like a mutually assured destruction. They're at remote locations, sort of hidden with the big red button just in case everything goes to shit. And they were discovered. There was a US warship that sort of discovered them, found them, and was dropping depth charges all around.
Yeah, wow.
So the crew on board, they're all panicking.
Yeah.
The leadership, there's a couple high-ranking military officers on the sub, and they're all thinking like, well, this is it.
Launch the nuke.
Try to launch the nukes, right? And so there's the three leaders on the sub. Yeah. Two of them are sort of all for pressing the big red button, and there's one guy, can't remember any of the names, but he sort of took a step back with a level head, didn't let the panic of the situation sort of get to him, and he thought, well, let's just, instead of pressing the big red button that no one can come back from, that'll probably spiral out into full-on nuclear warfare, which thankfully didn't end up happening. He said, well, let's just see if we can surrender slowly, and instead of fighting until a depth charge actually hits us, or trying to stay quiet, just send out a sonar ping, reveal their location, show that they are not a threat, and that suffer obviously the wrath of the Soviets when they return for surrendering. But he sort of brought the rest of the crew back from the edge of a mistake or decision that you can't sort of come back from. I think it's really important within any military force to have people like that are level-headed, able to sort of steer the rest of their, the crew body that they're sort of commanding into more correct decisions when there seems to be sort of high-pressure scenarios. And I thought that, it sort of stuck out in my mind, that story. But Peter definitely embodies a lot of that.
Totally. And I would link that into like that concept of leading with courage and compassion. Like it takes a lot of courage. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where everyone's saying, like you're in a meeting, right? Everyone's saying, let's do the thing. And you have to go, let's just pause and let's just think about like what the ramifications are for the business. I'm not saying no, but let's just think about it. That's in a business setting. That's hard in a boardroom, or not even a boardroom, just around like with your leaders. This is in a situation where the ramifications are nuclear war, right? And I think leading it back to what Pete was talking about is the courage. Courage takes many forms. Like we tend to think about like courage being something physical.
Yeah.
But courage can be like, especially as leaders, can be calling out something that's not on, right? And be willing to deal with the uncomfortable ramifications of that as well, right?
Oh yeah, you weigh up your pros and cons.
Yeah.
And if you're a good leader, you're gonna not be selfish about it.
Exactly.
And not think about your best interest.
100%. And that would be where I would say like leadership. The biggest thing that I and I might have said this to you guys. I feel like I've definitely said it in podcasts, is that when I was a leader, first leader 20 years ago, mine was about ego. Like I wanted to be a leader because I wanted position and power.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what everyone wants.
Yeah, but it's not the right way to be. But because you're 20 and you think you want something, but then as you progress as a leader, you start to realize is that leadership is not about having power over people. You are responsible for those people. Like that in the pyramid where the leader's at the top. Yeah. Like it's actually not the case. Yeah. Very simply, it's the inverted pyramid. Yeah. Like leaders should be at the bottom. Everyone else is above you. Yeah. Everyone else, like their mental health, how they're tracking their development, that is your responsibility.
Yeah. If they see that you're not sort of there to be there for them, they're not going to trust you. No. And you need them to not do anything you say, but have to be able to rely on your whatever you say to be correct.
You're the leader. You don't do the thing.
Yeah.
They do the thing. In any business, in any organisation.
Yeah.
So if you can't influence them, you're not a good leader. she can't get anything done. And so like having that social currency with the people where you can be like, hey, like Jaden, I need you to do this today, and you're like, no worries, Blake, I will do that, because we've built up a rapport, because you know I care about you.
Respect as well.
Yeah, because I've shown that to you as a leader.
Yeah.
Right? And this is, we think it's so complex, don't we?
Yeah.
It's really not.
No.
It's like being a good person. But it's actually harder to do, because when you're under pressure and you're in a position of you're a leadership and you're responsible for things, like now it's all on you. So you're thinking about, you become selfish in your decision making. You can, at least anyways. So I think like I've learned so much. I've learned so much personally from Peter. He's a very good man.
Yeah.
He's all about service. He talks about service being like, his definition of success is how can he serve the country, which he's done, right?
Yeah.
And then how does he service his community, his family, right? Service across those three things. If he can do that, he sees his life as a success.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously in his field, he's absolutely smashed it. Like he's done everything that he's wanted to do, everything that he needed to do, and far more.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Interesting guy.
Unbelievable man.
Yeah. Lucky to have him off.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, questions, guys?
I'm
Submarine
happy.
Man?
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't know you would say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I remember watching the movie, because it's one of my all-time favourites.
Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and I remember thinking that, because I don't know, if you haven't watched it, kind of the main plot is they're in the submarine and they get a message saying about launching this nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And it cuts off.
Yeah.
And they have to kind of decide if they should do it or not.
Yeah. In isolation, right?
Yeah. And I'd love to ask Peter what he would do in this situation, and if that movie was like
accurate
or not.
I've never seen it, so
it's great.
It's a good watch. Yeah,
it's a really good thing. Another good one is Hunter Killer, I think.
Yeah.
That's Gerard Butler. That's a really good modern day one. It's very good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send him a message.
Yeah. Because I was like,
you've seen Crimson Tide, mate.
Would you do it?
I was like,
would you press the ring button?
I was like, doesn't matter, because I'll never be able to meet someone you know, who's worked in a submarine.
There you go. Next time, write in the comments.
I will.
I think we're good. That could bring us up to speed.
Yeah.
Next week's good.
I'm very excited.
Next week. All right. Yeah. So next week we're really excited. Dr. William von Hippel launched, what's today? Yesterday?
Yeah, on the 17th.
17th, which is great. Looking forward to that. But yeah, really looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting. One we're talking through. But check us out on the podcast, guys. Follow us on Instagram and also LinkedIn. We chatted a lot about. We're getting lots of engagement. We would, if you get something from the podcast, if you want to share it with other people, please do that. Send us a review, send a comment. I think that's really important.
Make sure following the Spotify.
Exactly. Make sure you're following us on Spotify, because as I said before, I've said this, but to you guys a lot. Like, our number one focus is building a community. All right. So the more you engage, the more you get the ability to be able to contribute to how a community develops, right? And we want you all to feel like you're part of it and you have some ownership over it. So that's my spiel for today.
Yeah.
Awesome, boys. Love that. And look forward to... You'll be here next week, I think. This is your last one.
Last one. So
last one before Lockie leaves.
But we're listening to all the podcasts.
Yeah,
on the show.
I better see some more reviews and comments there.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's that for today.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
Beautiful. On to the next thing.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.